Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. So welcome back to the video of concentration measurement. So this is actually the fifth video, but the second video we're going to look at for the example of question where we're going to combine all these 5 concentration measurement that we have learned, as well as there are some assumption that we must make to answer the question. Okay, so here again all the formulas. It's not only the 5 one. Don't forget about the density, the formula of the density of solution, as well as the mass solute plus solvent is equal to mass of solution. And then this is the assumption. Okay, so without further ado, let's look for the question on examples on page 16. Now let's look for the example number 5. So this is actually the question. They ask about molar concentration. So let's extract the information in question. So this is actually mass because it's a gram. But is it a solute ataupun solution? Okay, so dia kata dekat sini solution containing 1 to 1.8 gram of zinc something kan. It's actually a solute. For example, contohnya I just write down I-Milo contain 1 to 1.8 of Milo itself. So kalau Milo tu is actually our solute, I-Milo tu is our solution. So in this case, this mass is actually denote for mass of solute 1 to 1.8 gram and has a density of this value. Okay, tapi kali ni so density tu is actually the density of solution. Okay, and then they ask us about the molar concentration. Molar and molality is the same thing. Okay, so let's write down the formula. Okay, so write down the formula. Kalau mass, they don't have any formula kita kena hafal kan. So let's look straight to the density lah. The density is actually mass of solution divided by volume of solution. Okay, and then molality is number of mole of solute divided by mass of solvent must be in kilogram. So this is actually our step number 2. Okay, step number 3, assume one switches the denominator from info. So from information, we only have macam formula tu from the density kan. So we have the volume of solution. So again, for the volume of solution, what we're going to assume is that the volume of solution is equal to 1 liter or 1000 milliliter. Okay, for this question, Miss akan buat the whole way through. I'm just going to give you some hints sikit-sikit. Yang lain, I believe you could try yourself. Okay, so nanti kita akan dapat mass of solution. The question was mass of solvent. So actually, how do we get from mass of solvent? Kalau ada mass solution, so we have to find this lah using this formula. So I believe you could try it yourself. Example 5. Okay, so let's look at for example 6. Okay, so for example 6 here, yang ini kita akan buat sama-sama. Okay, so let's extract the information. So we have 8.91 molality. And then the density of the solution is actually 0.927. Okay, this is density of solution. Okay, and then the question asks, what is the molarity? Okay, the capital M. So that is the question. Okay, so what is capital M? Okay, so that's for step number 1. Number 2 is write the formula for all of it. So number 1, molality, mole solute divided by mass of solvent, which must be in kilogram. Density is a mass over volume. So since this is for solution, so mass and volume pun must be for the solution. And molarity is number of mole of solute divided by volume of solution in liter. So this is actually our second step. So let's look for the third step. Assume once the denominator from info. So we can take sama ada dari satu mass solvent, satu volume solution. So we're going to choose only one. But I'm going to do here is actually I'm going to assume mass yang solvent to 1 kilo. Okay, so the mass of solvent when I assume is 1 kilogram or 1000 gram. Okay, so boleh lah. I'm just going to substitute straight away. Remember, since the molality, the unit is actually kilogram. So here I'm just going to write down yang 1 kilo lah, bukan 1000 gram Okay, and then you get the number of mole of solute is 8.91 mole. Okay, so number of mole of solute dah dapat. But right now we have to find the volume of solution in liter tu. So volume of number of mole solute dah. Volume of solution, let's find out. Okay, so here density there is actually the unit is gram per milliliter. So the volume of solution when we get there, it must be in ml. And mass of solution pun it must be in gram. Okay, so macam mana nak cari mass of solution? We're still gonna use this. Mass of solvent dah ada. Mass of solute ni kita kena cari from the number of mole of solute. Okay, So yang ini mesti letak kat tempat lain. Nak cari mass of solute is actually number of mole times dengan molar mass. Yang ni Miss denote sebagai MR. It means that molar mass. Okay, mass of solute which is kita C2H5OH. Carbon, the molar mass is 12. Tapi we have 2 kan. Hydrogen 1 and O is 16. So 2 times 12. Okay, H ada 6. So I'm just going to write down straight away 6 plus 16 for the oxygen. So mass of solute kita is actually, how much is the value here? 406.86, 409.86 gram. So this is actually mass of solute. Okay, so kita kena carilah mass of solution. Mass of solution tu is actually mass of solute plus solvent. Okay, mass of solvent tu tadi, if you still remember, we assume at the first part tadi, we assume it's actually 1000 gram. So make sure the unit yang sama, so which is in gram. So this is actually mass of solution. Semua ni kita buat gram. Bolehlah kita substitute straight away in the formula. So here I will get the volume of solution is equal to 1520.8845. This is actually in milliliter. So remember, tengok unit lah. But then, for the formula of the molarity, volume of solution tu must be in liter. So, I'm just gonna straight away change kat sini juga, which is 1.5209. Okay, so I would like it to be 4 significant figures lah. Final answer, then you're gonna simplify it to 2. Okay, so I'm just gonna substitute it straight away. So, the answer, it will be 8.91 divided by 1.5209. And then your answer will be 5.86 molarity ataupun molar. Okay, so that's the end of question number 6. Okay, so we have looked for the solution of question number 6. So here I'm just gonna explain again. Yang ni tadi assume once, which is the denominator from info, where we assume the mass of solvent. Okay, sebenarnya assume once tu sebenarnya is not fixed. Bila tak fixed, so this time around what I would like to do is actually I want to assume how about kalau volume is to assume volume pula. Okay, so yang ni kamu tak perlu salin pun tak apa. Here I'm just going to show it to you. Okay, so here I'm just going to delete it. Okay, so for this case I'm going to assume, sebab we're going to assume the denominator and it's actually from the information. Information kan kita ada dua kan. One is molality, one is density. So sekarang ni nak assume the volume pula. So how about if I assume the volume is 1000? Okay. So yes, I do get my mass of solution. Tapi from here, lepas tu I'm stuck here. Tak tahu macam mana nak buat. So kat sini pun kita tak boleh extract into the molality. So that's why yang ini kita akan guna assume mass of solvent is 1000 kg. Sebenarnya boleh je assume mana-mana. Nanti kita akan tengok specific example. Okay, so now let's look for example number 7. Okay, so example number 7 ni, okay, again, apa yang kita akan buat adalah extract information and question. Okay, information ada satu sahaja, which is the percentage by mass. So, kalau kamu nampak percent tu is percentage. Tengok kalau by volume ada, by mass pun ada. Okay, so we have extract the information question. Now, let's write down the formula. So, for the formula, it's actually the mass of solute divided by mass solution times kan dengan 100. And molality is actually mole of solute divided by mass of solvent, which must be in kilogram. Okay, so sekarang ni lain sikit. Ada percentage by mass pula. Okay, so next adalah assume once, which is the denominator from info. Okay, so denominator ni ataupun bottom dia lah, bottom part of our percentage. Ataupun our fraction, sorry. Okay, so tadi kita banyaknya kita guna mass solvent 100 gram ataupun 1 kilo, volume 1 liter ataupun 1000 ml. Percentage by mass, kita akan assume the 100 gram. Okay, so why? So yang ini mesti tulis dulu. So kita akan tengok nanti, okay, kenapa mass of solution tu kita assume 100 gram bukan 1000. Okay, so for example, mass extract information here, masukkan 85, sini 100. Percentage tak tulis because it is only the unit. Okay, so when I rearrange it, as you can see, mass solute over mass solution ni, okay, so kita nampak mass of solute kita is actually 85, mass solution 100. So that's why percentage by mass, kita akan assume mass of solution is 100 gram. So dalam kes ni, kita cari mass of solute to get 85 5 gram. Okay, so daripada sini, senanglah. What we're going to do next is actually find the mole of solute. Okay, which divided by molar mass. Mass solvent, we're going to use yang solute plus solvent is equal to solution. Tu boleh buat sendiri. Okay, now let's look for question number 8. Okay, so for question number 8, so let's write down the information and the question. So information yang kita ada is actually the percentage by mass and the density. The density of our solution. So selalunya memang dia bagi the density of solution. Okay, so they ask us about molarity, which is your capital M. Okay, so sekarang ni what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to write down the formula. Okay, so formula of the, formula of our percentage by mass ni Miss copy paste je, kamu salin lah balik. Okay, and then the formula for the density of solution. Okay, so I'm going to write down the formula for density of solution as well. Boleh tukar colour tak apalah. Okay, and then don't forget, last but not least is the question itself. They want the molarity. Okay, so for the molarity pun dah tulis. Okay, so right now what I'm going to do is actually assume once, which is denominator from info. So pilihlah, be it percentage by mass yang mass solution 100 gram ke, ataupun kita nak assume yang the volume of solution is 1 liter. Pun boleh juga. So sebenarnya nanti the final answer will be the same. It's either one. Yang kali ni boleh. Usually boleh lah nak assume kan. Okay, so make sure dia 1000 ml lah. Okay. So yang ini jadi extra work sikit untuk kamu. Example 8 ni. So ada dua lah. Yang 8 ni Miss pecahkan ada 8A dengan 8B. 8A ni assume mass solution 100 gram. Kalau 8B ni maksudnya nanti kamu dah dapat jawapan for this question. Dah dapat semua, dapat lah 11.28 molar. Lepas tu dah siap ni, buat lagi sekali. Tapi in this case around, we're going to assume volume of solution is 1000 ml ataupun 1000 liter. So nanti kamu akan dapat calculation, you will still get the same answer. Steps dengan value dia a bit different, but the final answer one memang akan sama. So yang ni Miss nak kamu just test yourself. Okay, buat 2 step. Okay, so that's for example number 8. Okay, now let's look for example number 9. Number 9 dan 10 ni sebenarnya sama je. Cuma beza the value itself. So yang ini, so for example number 9 itself, dia macam sama sikit dengan example 8 tadi. Where they give us the percentage by mass as well as the density. But then kat sini question dia pecahkan banyak sikit. First I have to find the molarity, and last but not least is the mole fraction. Okay, so contohnya kat sini I've done the question yang part 1, which is number 1, we're going to extract the information. Number 2, write down the formula. Okay, tapi in this question, I'm just going to write down yang ni formula untuk information sahaja. Okay, so again, in this case pun sama juga, because we have these two kan. So, and when we're going to assume, we're only going to assume once from the denominator. So in this case, sengaja je Miss bagi extra because hari ni pun we have class 4 hours kan sepatutnya kan. Okay, so first adalah when you assume the mass of solution is 100 gram. Okay, remember that for the percentage by mass, kita assume tu mass dia 100 gram. Kalau kalau molarity 1 kilogram. Yang ni we're going to go back at page 14. Remember, kalau molarity, kita assume mass solvent tu 1 kg ataupun 1000 gram. Kalau percentage by weight, percentage by mass, we're going to assume this M solution is 100 gram, bukan 1000. Okay, so yang itu Miss dah explain dah kenapa kita assume the 100. Yang itu if you be unsure, tengok balik pada minute. I can't remember which minute. Okay. And then the second one, okay, so nanti bila kamu dah assume ni, you get this answer. So second one pun Miss nak bagi lagi extra sikit. Assume volume solution pula yang 1 liter ataupun 1000 milliliter yang dekat sini. Nanti kamu akan cari mole of solid, semua tu memang akan berbeza. But then at the final answer there, then you will get the we get the same answer. Okay. So yang tengah-tengah tu yang macam tak sama je. But then the final answer still macam ni. So for the molality ni tak perlu choose which one, yang mana pun akan dapat jawapan yang sama juga. Mole fraction of HCl, straightforward sahaja. Okay, so yang ini I believe you could try yourself. Example 10 ni pun sama juga. Sama sahaja information. Cuma yang ini takut nanti kamu macam mole fraction apa. Make sure this is actually I want to find the mole fraction of NH3. Okay, so that's the last of our for our question, and this is actually the last of the mole concept, the concentration measurement ataupun the last of one subtopic 1.2 mole concept. Okay, see you next video.